There's a league champion that is steadily becoming one of the most interesting champions of all time, and last week we got a reminder of that at Worlds.
Wait, he's taking no damage. Wait! He was taking hardly any damage. The tower shots weren't... Wait, the tower shots not ramp up if you're a minion?
Neeko and her ability to disguise herself as pretty much anything in the game has made League more dynamic to play, more unpredictable to watch, and arguably a hell of a lot more fun. Before we get into today's video, we have brand new merch. Check it out.
Guess what, folks? Our Touchgrass hoodies did so well that the suits are actually letting us make even more dumb gamer-inspired shit. Like our new Bader zip-up hoodies, made for all the real blue-collar workers out there. Perfect for any environment, whether it's catching fish, hanging your teammates out to dry, or just tugging on your... Or how about our inspiring new Onward and Forward tee? The ideal shirt for the sweatiest of gamers so that you can slam the W key with zero resistance and little to no chafing. Teammates don't like it? Fuck them. Ruin everyone's night. Oh, and yeah, we got these blue esports tees. I forgot we made these. Yeah, they're definitely blue and they say esports. Game in style and comfort with theScore Esports Drop 2 available now.
If you want to get your hands on any of that, check out the link in the description box. Alright, so for the uninitiated, Neeko, the Curious Chameleon, was originally released in 2018, intended to be a fairly standard burst mage with a twist. Her passive, Inherent Glamour, allowed Neeko to disguise herself as an allied champion in order to take enemies by surprise and bait them to their deaths. It was a really cool idea that we'd never seen before in League. But as novel and inventive as it was, Neeko got off to a rough start. Her pick and win rate started off low and only got worse. This was particularly noticeable in pro play, where she steadily declined in popularity from Season 9 onwards. By Season 12, she was picked in all pro games globally a total of 7 times, 6 of which she lost. And she was also a buggy mess at times. Who can forget Neeko turning into a turret at will and just deleting nearby enemies? I mean, what the f? That was absolutely insane. Riot needed to do something to save Neeko from the realm of failed gimmick champ, and in January this year, they revealed their plans.
So there's a lot of things going on in Neeko, but I can give the one sneak peek, which is her passive, instead of just turning to other champions, is now other things, anything. She can turn into a plant, she can turn into a demon mushroom, she can turn into a minion, a monster, and a champion.
There were changes to Neeko's basic abilities and ultimate, but all eyes were on that new passive. Suddenly, Neeko could be anything: a honey fruit plant, a tea mushroom, Tibbers, or even just a humble minion. In fact, everyone had to learn very quickly to count enemy minions in approaching waves, because if there was one too many, it could actually be a Neeko about to f your shit up. Even the pros fell for this early on, like when the LPL's Harder stopped an enemy siege by disguising himself as a minion and waiting for the perfect moment.
Harder's a minion. He's a caster minion. Will it work? Will he find his opportunity? His 7th game of LPL, and he wants to make the play. He's on-demoting. It works. The cleanse comes on through.
Now, Harder's team might have gone on to lose that game, but the point here is that was sick to watch. The building tension, the unpredictability, the new way to break a siege that wasn't just a front-to-back team fight or a TP flank. Now, obviously, pro and casual players alike weren't just picking her because she made games more unpredictable. Her kit buffs alone made her a viable mid laner. The reaction to the rework from Neeko mains were mixed. Some felt she did less damage, others loved the fact that her ultimate now knocked people up. Some thought the changes were a nerf to casual players and a slight buff to skilled Neekos. But undeniably, Neeko became a legitimate pick after her rework. Last month in high elo, she even broke the top 10 highest win rate mid laners out of 52 champions. Not bad for a champion that was non-existent at the start of this year. And people got really creative with Neeko too. Some players disguised themselves as minions and built full crit to destroy their enemies who had no idea what the f was going on. I mean, just look at that. At the start of the summer season, we even saw Yagao win Billy a team fight in the LPL by disguising himself as a Scryer Bloom for almost an entire minute in order to make a pick while his team did Baron.
Someone, Ari, look, Ari, look at the Scryer's Bloom.
Will this work? Will it work? Will it work? And that's what you want to see.
It worked. It worked, it worked.
And that's just scratching the surface. There have been so many wild Neeko clips since her rework. Every time you think you've seen it all, she surprises you again by breaking the game, but in a really healthy way. And her rise back into the champion mainstream has also been reflected in pro play. During summer this year, Neeko had a staggering 64% presence in global professional play, putting her in the top 5 of all champions, and has been the second most banned champion behind only LeBlanc. And even at Worlds this year, which is happening right now, she currently has the highest win rate of any mid laner played more than once. That's huge. Now, the reason she's getting picked so much in pro play isn't because of her unpredictability. At the end of the day, pros want to win games, not create wacky highlight reels. Neeko is genuinely a solid laner. In the early game, she's a lane bully who exerts a massive amount of pressure on her opponent, which gives her lane prior and allows her to roam and help out her team. On top of that, her ult is basically a one-man wombo combo now, with Showmaker showing the power of that at Worlds last week.
Heated up on the Rumble right now as the extendo beam, not going to find too much. Pop Blossom, the flash picks up two! BDD gets the Empress Divine off, but he's still going to die!
Look, there are sensible, nerdy, maybe even boring reasons as to why Neeko is doing well in pro play, but a byproduct of that is we get to watch her fun passive in action. Take Caps, for example, the clip we showed at the very start. Last week, he turned into a cannon minion in order to reduce the ramped up turret damage he would usually get from tanking a turret. At level 5, he wouldn't be able to take more than a couple of hits in his normal form, and yet here he was tanking it for days.
Wait, he's taking no damage. Wait! He was taking hardly any damage. The tower shots weren't... Wait, the tower shots not ramp up if you're a minion? The tower shot did the same damage every time.
Now, there's been some debate this week about whether or not this is actually working as intended, or did Caps abuse a bug there. But even if Riot do go on to decide it's a bug, I'm not sure if they will or not, it was fucking fun. It was unpredictable. It got everyone talking. It got everyone fired up. You know, like esports should. Look, League has been around for a while. There aren't many surprises these days. For the most part, when you see champions locked in, you have a decent idea of how exactly they're going to be played. There's nothing wrong with these plays. They're the absolute bread and butter of League of Legends, and obviously Neeko has these predictable play patterns too. But the rework to her passive gave Neeko choices that made her unpredictable to play against, and to watch. Not only that, but her ability to disguise herself as different elements of the game means she is tied to them. That makes her more unpredictable if the map or meta ever changes. Neeko can disguise herself as non-epic monsters, as minions, as traps, as wards, as pets, as jungle plants. Every time one of those gets introduced or an existing one is changed, I immediately think, how will this affect Neeko? She'll continue to evolve with Summoner's Rift and the wider game and continue to throw up surprises along the way. And that's really cool. Neeko might not be the best champion in the game. Her presence in pro play might slump in the future. She may still be buggy at times. Even the opinion of those that main Neeko may be divided. But man, is she fun to watch. And honestly, if League wants to survive for another 10 years, they could do a lot worse than a few more champions like her. But my God. But jeez. But man, is she fun to watch. But come on, man, like, my God, come on, what are we doing here? Like, just be real for a second, fam. Like, think. Like, what I'm trying to say is she's fun to watch.